What's happening, my happiness homies? My name's Kayla Israel, and this is my first participation vlog. So the goals I've been pursuing this semester are practicing acts of kindness, committing to my goals, developing strategies for coping, and doing activities that truly engaged me. The reason I chose to pursue these specific activities were kind of because I don't have a lot of time. I don't generally put aside time for well-being. Doing these activities allowed me not to fight time. I treated time kind of as a friend who wasn't always there instead of an enemy that I had to fight to stay there. And it was really happy. I was able to increase my well-being practices even though I had a really short amount of time. The one that has been my favorite has been I have a goal of saying 5 kind things a day to random people. And it makes me happy and it makes them happy. My favorite activity by far has been the forgiveness workshop. And it actually was the hardest activity for me. I had recently gone through sort of a friendship breakup. And I still hadn't had closure. Long story short, my friend yelled at me because I decided to choose an internship. This activity and the workshop gave me the closure that I needed, specifically writing a letter to them. And my version of forgiveness was kind of never talking to her again, which doesn't necessarily sound like forgiveness, but this activity learned that it's okay. My version of forgiveness was me saying, I am not going to want to talk to you again, but I have closure now. And that was really helpful to me. On a lighter note, being able to use play in learning how to do the certain activities, especially the resilience one, was a blast to me. I was able to stretch these creative muscles that I hadn't used in forever. I'm beginning to understand that although time is a limited resource, I can still practice happiness and well-being. I can actually take self-care and put that into my everyday, and that's how I can bring it throughout the day. Kind of along that same line, my perspective has changed because happiness and practicing well-being, it's not selfish to do that instead of focusing on other things. I used to think practicing happiness and well-being had to be a very long, extended thing. However, I'm learning that's not the case. I can be happy, practice well-being for 5 minutes at a time. And even if it does take half a day or a whole day for me to recharge, that's okay. One of the things I've connected with the most is being happy while not shoving negative feelings down. This class has helped me know negative feelings exist. Negative things exist. The world is not always happy. But that doesn't mean that it has to stop you from being happy. And I really liked that. One thing that I've been going and my family has been going through is my uncle is currently in hospice care. And I've been using these practices to remain happy while also being sad. My thought processes has been, it really stinks that my uncle is in hospice care, but it's his time, and we have to appreciate the time that we have had with him instead of the time that we won't. Now, something that's challenged and extended is the idea of being happy while also being in pain. I have chronic illnesses, which means that pain is kind of a normal part of my life. And some days, it's really hard to stay happy. But this class has taught me that you can still be happy. I have by no means mastered the ability to be happy while being in pain yet, but I'm beginning to learn how to, and I hope by the end of the semester I have continued that journey even more. I used to think that happiness was kind of a fragile thing, but now I know that it can be persistent with the right resources. As I said, with my uncle being in hospice care, plus a whole pandemic, I had a period where I really wasn't that happy. But this class is allowing me to learn that I can have the resources, and I do have the resources, to be happy. And it's just up to me to follow those resources.